every time she hits her stride.
Here I come.
And is ready to chase it again. Every time we hear the bell and know a child is cancer-free. Every time his heart beats stronger and he scores the winning goal. With more than 35 pediatric subspecialties, East Tennessee Children's Hospital is here every time it matters most.
You know what's really hard to imagine? I was talking to my wife this morning about. It's hard to imagine that 2 years ago today, I was sitting right here in this same seat, a little bit of a different operation than what we have currently today. But yes, today marks 2 years since East Tennessee Weather launched for East Tennessee. The weather app, easttnweather.com, the 24-hour weather channel, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube. So my friends, we are celebrating a 2-year anniversary today. And I think before we go on any further, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to you, to my wife, to my family, to my friends, to the sponsorships that have kept us up and running for the last 2 years and continuing to grow every single year. Listen, I had 0 app downloads 2 years ago. 0. We're pushing 50,000 app downloads, and I get 55 million touches on my app every single month because of you. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for allowing me to be in your living rooms, family rooms, kitchens, bedrooms, and on your cell phones, no matter where you may be, to keep you up to date on the weather forecast every single day. It has been a tough 2 years. I've learned a lot. It has been a fire hose of information, from the technology to the sales aspect of it that I never had to do before, to the social media, to the marketing, to the just doing the weather every single day. And yeah, as I mention all the time, there are changes every single day that are going to be headed our way, whether it be the weather or whether it be how we continue to grow together as East Tennessee. So because of that, I did want to share some photos with you from the very beginning, because we'll get to work with the forecast. But this is the studio. So this is the backyard of my house. I had a studio built onto the backyard of my house. They attached it to the carport there. Looks like it was raining at that moment in time. Anyways, big shout out to Mike Stevens Homes. He was the one who built my studio. He was the one who believed in me from the very beginning. I got to give a big shout out also to Rusty Wallace. They also gave me a start. They gave me the start I needed to really bring this platform home. So that was the studio. This is another picture of the studio build as they built it on. Got the walls up there, got the roof on there. And then we started to get inside, and inside the studio, not much, right? So that back room is where I keep all my computers. That main room is where the studio is, and I currently sit. That little black box is actually where my desk currently lies as of right now. We continue to work hard every single day to bring you the latest and greatest. And then we had some studio lights starting to set up. I got a camera. This was just a little over 2 years ago, getting everything ready for launch day, which was 2 years ago today. And then that was my little setup. I had a little it's a 49-inch curved monitor. That's how I started. But now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more monitors sitting around me. So we've added to the monitor list, rearranged some lighting from time to time. And again, I just would not be able to do that without you all. So thank you very much again. We're celebrating 2 years of East Tennessee Weather. I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but I posted on social media. East Tennessee Weather now has a 10x10 tent to be able to take to events and festivals that are going to be happening and ongoing every single year throughout the year. We will start now attending some of these festivals because we've got an awesome tent that was sponsored out by Label Industries, who does all of my merch. If you're looking for merchandise, remember I have a merch shop. I've got coffee mugs and hats and t-shirts and sweatshirts. Perfect time of the season to grab yourself some sweatshirts. But again, I just could not be here without you, and I cannot thank you enough every single day for believing in me. But let's go move right along, shall we? All right, I'll quit wasting all your time here this morning. Live looking downtown Clinton this morning. We've got some mid-level clouds hanging out with us. Still some lingering mid-level clouds associated with Hurricane Imelda. That is moving its way on out, and we are starting to see improving weather conditions, and it's going to turn out to be an absolutely beautiful day. Now, yesterday we did make it to 84, which is above average. Average high for this time of year is now 78 degrees. And so, yeah, it was a little bit above average, and I think that's going to be the story for the next couple of days. So today it's going to be, and it's the first day of October, by the way. Happy October. Buried the lead with my 2-year anniversary that I launched in October. Now, I didn't want to launch October. I was actually wanting to launch June 1st, but then we were waiting for a studio to be built. Couldn't really do that very well. Do you remember those days? Man, you stuck with me through the thick and thin, that's for sure. It's been a huge learning curve. All right, low to mid-80s are going to be our forecast highs. If you have events here tonight, ball games, practices, outdoor events, want to grill in the backyard, perfect night to do so. 82 degrees by 6, 74 by 8, 69 degrees by 10 o'clock here tonight. As we continue to look ahead, though, let's talk for a second. Tropics, of course, we've got Imelda and Umberto that are moving their way out into the Atlantic Ocean. Thank goodness for that. It stays away from the U.S. mainland. And those storms will continue to push on out. Now, above and beyond that, for us, what we're looking forward to, I should say, is some nice, cool high pressure that's going to wedge its way in across the eastern side of the Appalachians. It's going to bring some cool air across the northeast, but drop our temperatures just a little bit before another ridge of high pressure builds on in. We're not looking at much in the way of rainfall here all the way through the rest of the week into the upcoming weekend. We may have a little wave swing its way in from the south that may produce a little bit more rain. So general idea, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we'll bring it up to about a 20% chance. There's that elevated rain chance at the end of the 7-day and just shortly beyond that, but above and beyond the 7-day forecast, when you're looking 2 weeks out, we're still looking at the potential for some much drier air. And actually diving into some of the latest model guidance here, one of the models, the American model, actually has a big old pocket of much colder air coming through in about 10 to 12, 10 to 15 days or so. The European does not have that. So we'll see how that all plays out, and the ensembles don't have that as well. So we'll see if the ensembles and how the models play out here over the next couple of weeks. But potentially now we're in the time of the year, the time of the season, that we've got to start to get these cold fronts that head our way. So we'll be in the low 80s for the upcoming weekend. That's slightly above average. I think that's going to be the general idea, and the Climate Prediction Center has been talking about that for several weeks now. So we'll see how it all plays out. It is Hump Day! So you know what that means. We got to say good morning to Ed Rupp.
Wait for him. Wait for him. Bam! Now we slide all the way downhill to the weekend. The kids can get ready for school, and Debbie can take her shower.
And now we can move right along with the rest of our Wednesday. Good morning, Deborah. How are you? Thank you, Julie. I appreciate it. Good morning, Lisa. What's up, neighbor? How are you this morning? Send your kids back down to the house. I'll give them a check today. I was going to donate. East Tennessee Weather's going to be donating to some neighborhood kids trying to get ready for a competition. I think it's like a robotic competition or something like that. So it should be a lot of fun. So send the kids down after school today. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. It has been a whirlwind for sure. Remember those early days? Ooh. Yeah, they were a little rough around the edges. Some days, remember we talked about the gremlins for so long because there's so much tech going on and I had to learn so much. But I was like, Mike should be live soon. I never got the notification because I forgot my phone was on Do Not Disturb. You got to have that on, right? Good morning, Beverly. Let's see. Carcane says, I hope the channel keeps growing, but never gets too big for Ed. Never. We'll never be bigger than Ed Rupp. I mean, that's just impossible. Good morning, Carol. Excuse me. Good morning, Elaine. I've been sharing some of your awesome photos, and we're going to share some of those here this morning as well. But let's move right along. This is the time of the morning that we start talking about those national holidays for the day today. We've got a gorgeous sunrise taking shape, but I'll show you what it looks like from high up on top of the mountains at Anakeesta. There are those mid-level clouds zipping their way on out of here, leaving us with abundant sunshine throughout the day today. All right, so today's October 1st. We're celebrating birthdays and events and or anniversaries, i.e. it is East Tennessee Weather's anniversary. All right, it's National National Jiffy Mix Day. Gotta love those good old Jiffy mixes. Reminds me of some childhood. Blueberry muffins, the cornbread, all of them. All right, if you have any events going on, let me know what's going on in the chat. If you have anything that you're going to be attending or if you have any birthdays in your family. Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate that. It's National Walk to School Day. You can't really walk to school around East Tennessee, can we? Not unless you live in the sticks. At that point, maybe it's too far to walk to school. But remember, I've told you this before, but I used to ride my bike to school all the time. It was probably about 4 miles away, about 3 miles away. Uphill both ways without shoes on, flat tires and all those things. But a good day to walk to school, or at least walk home from school for the kids. It's National Pumpkin Seed Day. I'll give a shout out to that. I love me some pumpkin seeds. This is the time of the year that we got to take them out of the pumpkins, get the pumpkins ready for Halloween, and then roast your pumpkin seeds. So good. It's National Coffee with a Cop Day. All right. Go find yourself a police officer and go have a cup of coffee with them. Maybe give them a donut. Anyways, it's National Fire Pup Day. Those dogs are some of the best. National Pumpkin Spice Day. Now you can go get your... Now, it is October 1st. You can go enjoy your pumpkin spice latte and not take any... not take any attitude for it. It's too early for pumpkin spice latte. You can't have that today. Well, it's out on the shelf, so I'm going to have it. But it's almost like setting up your Christmas lights right now, right? Or Christmas trees. They're out everywhere, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it yet. It's National Green City Day. That's great. Make the cities green as possible. Green as possible, with our transportation system. See if I can get the words out. They've gone electric, so that's great for the cat system. All right, Random Acts of Poetry Day. If you know a poet, or if you have some poetry, throw it in the chat. We'll read it out loud. And it's National Government Shutdown Day. You aren't wrong, Buck. It's National Black Dog Day. I used to have a black lab. I had a chocolate lab, a black lab. I've had some black and white dogs, but not just... And I did have just one all-black dog. It's National Hair Day. Celebrate it if you have it. I'm going to celebrate today as National Hair Day as well because I have it. But it is going quickly. And one of these days, you're going to wake up to a bald witcher or a shaved head witcher. It's National Homemade Cookies Day. It sounds so delish this morning, doesn't it? Yeah, cookies all day long. All right, let's talk about weather history on this date, October 1st in 1989. Thunderstorms produced severe weather in the southeastern U.S. through the daytime hours and evening hours. Severe storms spawned 11 tornadoes. In 1988, afternoon and evening thunderstorms produced severe weather across the central Oklahoma area and eastern half of Texas with upwards of softball-size hail. In 1987, a blast of cold Arctic air hit the north-central U.S. and afternoon thunderstorms slickened the streets in Duluth, Minnesota with hail and snow. Later in the afternoon, strong northerly winds reached 70 miles per hour. In 1893, the second great hurricane of 1893 hit the Mississippi Delta region, drowning more than 1,000 people. And in 1752, the second severe hurricane in 2 weeks to hit the Carolinas. The Onslow County Courthouse was destroyed, along with all of its records, and the Beacon Island disappeared. Now we move on to history. All right, in 1971, Walt Disney World opened in Orlando, Florida. I did not know it was 1971. Wow. In 1962, Johnny Carson began hosting The Tonight Show on NBC. He stayed with the show for 29 years. Jack Parr was the previous host. In 1943, Naples was captured by the Allied forces during World War II. In 1940, the Pennsylvania Turnpike opened as the first toll superhighway in the United States. That was 1940. That's crazy. In 1903, the first modern World Series took place between the Boston Pilgrims and the Pittsburgh Pirates. And in 1880, Thomas Edison began the commercial production of electric lamps at Edison Lamp Works in Menlo Park. Those, my friends, that's what you need to know today. We'll take you back outside. All right, I actually forgot I had a couple more pictures to share with you this morning from anniversary photos. So do any of you remember this photo? I caught flack from this from my old general manager when I saw him after I quit the TV station. He goes, all right, Witcher, what are you doing? I said, what are you talking about? What am I doing? He goes, I'm just climbing buildings, hanging out. He goes, no, I know you're up to something. Little did he know, and was I not saying anything to anybody, which I probably made the mistake back 2 years ago. Probably should have brought you along on every little adventure I went on. Unfortunately, I didn't play my cards that way. But here we are today. That, my friends, is a picture of me climbing my very first building to install my very first East Tennessee weather camera. That was on top of Orange Hat Brewing Company in Hardin Valley. So that was always a fun one. I forgot to show you this one. This was the big giant hole in the ground when they put the hole in the ground for the studio. And, just getting out there doing some measuring. They laid the ground, dug the footers. What an adventure that was to watch that all take place. I know Elaine's already sent a couple of great photos here, so let's go ahead and get to work with a few Witcher's pictures here this morning. I don't think we have too many. Last time I checked, but don't forget you can always upload those pictures through the East Tennessee Weather app. Just go to submit a photo. So we call those Witcher's pictures around these parts. Here's one from Elaine. This is a great shot of the moon. Elaine, big shout out to you this morning. She's always posting some amazing photos and a great photographer. She said last moon of September 2025 in Maryville. Here's looking towards Newport from Whitesburg. That would be Julie. Julie's sharing this photo with us. Some dark, ominous clouds yesterday. Let's see. We had a great sunset. This one's from David Weaver. Also a great photographer. He always sends me great photos of storm clouds and shelf clouds and rotating thunderstorms. This one was from Tammy Reed from the sunset. Ooh, these are gorgeous. This is the first time I'm seeing these. How about that one? And another one from Elaine Ombre. This one's a great one. Cool shot. Let's get that on there, Elaine. How about that shot? That's a good one. That's amazing. And then we have one last one from Lisa Gibson this morning. Lisa. It's sideways. It's sideways. There we go. We'll get that up there. How about that little shot? Some cumulus clouds trying to build to produce some thunderstorms, but really just didn't see a ton. I saw a couple of thunderstorms yesterday, but that was about the extent of it. David Kenny says, congrats from Mickleton, New Jersey. Quick story. Daughter goes to UT, flew into Nashville, then drove to Knoxville, and during the drive, I ran into storms with tornadoes. My daughter relayed info through your app, and she guided me across 40, and I avoided a couple of those storms. Stopped for an hour at Applebee's, and then continued my ride. Thanks for your reports. I got to Knoxville safe and sound. David, thank you so much for sharing that. That is amazing. It was the first of many cameras, no doubt about that. It was great. Good morning, Sue. How are you this morning? Seth says 2 years and many more to go. Yes, many more to come our way. Oh. It is mind blowing to me to think that it's already been 2 years. I cannot believe how fast 2 years goes. But thank you again for joining me. Thank you for being a part of my life, for allowing me to be a part of your life. We'll try to get some more meet and greets set up in the years to come. We'll get out more access to all these events around town as well. But here we are today. So thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share to anything you see on social media, especially for community awareness. It really helps the platform out. And if you like what you see, if you like the East Tennessee Weather app, please pass it along to everybody you know. We get app downloads every single day. Again, 55 million touches on my app every single month. That is incredible. All right, my friends, we'll see you back here tomorrow. We're going to keep moving along, going on to year number 3 with East Tennessee Weather. Oh, show the new tent? I don't have a picture of the new tent. Maybe I do have a picture of it. I do have a picture of the new tent. All right, Seth says, show the picture of the new tent. I will do that here real quick. So, East Tennessee Weather. I told you, got a new tent. Here's what it looks like. You know what's really cool about this tent is it also has a green screen inside of it. So that's what we're going to be doing at events. Taking that green screen, a camera, and my computer, and be able to highlight that and share that with everybody as we go to these events around town. Cool stuff there. Thanks to the label industry for providing that tent to East Tennessee weather. All right, my friends, have a great day. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. We'll see you back here soon.